Listen-only mode.
Welcome to our today's webinar, GData B2B Basic Training. My name is Martin Kowalski. I'm going to show you our GData software for business security solutions today. We're going to do a two-part seminar. First up, I'm going to show you a few slides explaining the basics from our GData software, and the second part would be a live demonstration for our software. You can ask me questions directly via your panel on your right. Also, you can find two handouts available for download. One would be a slide presentation as a PDF file from the first part of the webinar. The second one is the reference guide for the latest version of our software. So you can go into detail if you want to. Okay. I'm going to start right away with a few key facts regarding GData. I know some of you are maybe not so familiar with our company. I'm going to keep it short and simple, so I won't bore you with that. Our software company was established in 1985. We were the first antivirus software developer. Like if we say the world's first, we were the world's first. We created the first dedicated antivirus software worldwide. Also, we have our global headquarters, the development team and the support team located in Germany. Of course, we have other subsidiaries worldwide, but our headquarters is located in Germany. Our goal is to create comprehensive home user and business security solutions, keeping it simple and secure. Hint the slogan on the bottom of the presentation, simply secure. If we say simply secure, we mean it, and this is our goal. Also, we say that our technology is of course made in Germany, and this is the slogan that we are very proud of, since we have the world's strictest laws regarding antivirus standards, business standards, and of course privacy standards that we must adhere to. And you can be sure if you use our software, you will receive a product that has no backdoors or anything else that might leak your information to business or government institutions that don't have or should not have access to it. Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to show you our GData business solutions. We have three different versions of our software. First one would be GData Antivirus for Business. Next up is Client Security Business. And last but not least, GData Endpoint Protection Business. I'm going to detail what the difference is between them, but only to show you the boxes of our products. GData Antivirus Business has a centrally managed antivirus software currently supporting Windows, Linux, Mac, and of course Android. Within this basic function, you will receive also email and HTTP scanning. We are using a dual scan engine, meaning like we have one engine that's based on Bitdefender and the other engine is our own, complementing each other. The GData Bankguard is an additional module within Antivirus Business that's used to secure online payments, transactions, securing you against threats for man-in-the-middle or browser infections. that might compromise the data you're transferring to your online bank. The behavior blocker is an additional module that protects you against unknown viruses for the moment, just based on how this virus or this file is behaving or this process is behaving. And if there is anything fishy going on there, the behavior blocker will stop the process or the file. Same goes to the exploit protection. If there's anything not quite clear how this works or how this program should run on your computer, or if within a program that might be a safe one is behaving suspiciously, the exploit protection will stop the threat in there. Also, the USB keyboard guard is a security feature that protects you against threats that are pretending to be keyboards and giving you commands even if you don't know it. Mostly if you plug in an USB stick, you run an automated process in the background, and this automated process in the background could already contain a malicious file or a malicious command that you won't even notice. As we said, we wanted to keep things simple, and we are starting off with a simple administration because we think that if you have a very complicated program, you will have a hard time or have problems configuring your system to the needs you have, and we want to keep all our functions as simple as possible to make life easier for you if you're working with our software. We provide a user-friendly overview for all current relevant information. I'm going to show you this in our live demonstration afterwards, of course. So you can also go into details with that. You'll have the possibility to integrate your Active Directory, your given Active Directory on your system. So the transfer from the old program or the unprotected network to our program is as simple as possible, and also it is possible to automatically install the client during this process. We offer mobile device management for Android and iOS with the given security features like anti-theft protection, a corporate phone book, a given corporate phone book, a call filter, and much more. You can list an inventory of the given software and hardware within your network. So you can get detailed information on what kind of software is currently used within the network or what kind of hardware is used by the users within your network. And also, last but not least, we offer support free of charge that's available for you 24/7, 365 days a year via telephone and email in English language. GData Client Security Business contains all the previous features that I've talked already about, plus a centrally managed desktop firewall for your clients that has certain rules already given by default, as you can see as a predefined rule for ingoing or outbound directions. We have an application-based firewall, meaning like we only allow applications that are running and not opening specific ports. Of course, it is possible to open specific ports, but our firewall is basically going to the application first and then to the port. GData Endpoint Protection business also contains all the previous features from GData Antivirus business and GData Client Security business, as well as device control. So you can actually say that you can allow or disallow USB sticks, storage cards, CD burners, webcams, and so on within your network. Also, you can say that there are no only specific applications allowed to run or can be installed within your network. You can restrict the internet usage or the web browsing time itself. And of course, you can block whole websites if it is required. GData Patch Manager is the first additional module that's optional for you. It's possible to complement any given business solution, antivirus business, client security business, or end protection business. We provide more than 15,000 patches and full installers for your network. So you are enabled to process your full patch management lifecycle. If you want to combine certain features with additional modules, that is possible as well. We offer 3 basic combinations. That would be GData Antivirus Business plus Mail Security and Backup. I'm going to talk about this in a few slides. Would be GData Antivirus Enterprise, GData Client Security Business plus the additional module of Mail Security and Backup would be GData Client Security Enterprise, and of course, surprise, surprise, GData Endpoint Protection Business plus the Mail Security and the Backup would be GData Endpoint Protection Enterprise. The smallest number of licenses that need to be bought would be 5. Below that, it wouldn't make any really sense to provide a centrally managed client server solution because 5 and up would be the minimum that's required to buy one of our softwares. The additional modules for the enterprise version, as I already said, would be the mail security. That's given a program that is able to spam filter or phishing filter or antivirus features given. Also, it provides you with a plugin for Microsoft Exchange that scans all incoming or outgoing email traffic and enables you to do on-demand scans of post boxes. This plugin is also integrated into the management console, which I'm going to show you later. Next one would be the backup feature, in which you can create files and folder backups for your clients or the server itself. This backup would be encrypted, and of course you're able to restore single files or the whole backup at once. Our fourth product is a little bit different because that's why I'm going to talk about it in this point at a separate point. That would be GData Managed Endpoint Security. Managed Endpoint Security means it's basically the program GData Endpoint Protection with the difference that you can actually centrally manage several clients or networks at once. Might be interesting for you if you offer a security solution or have a software house that has several small clients, and with these clients you can do certain business. For those end clients, it might be interesting to do this so they can focus on their own key business without the need of additional staff or knowledge, so they can focus on their actual work. And the security solution that you're providing in this case would be able to provide large business size security standards for this small or medium-sized business. Also, you can offer a timely and reliable IT assistance to your customer in this case. So you can work very flexible with your customers. Of course, for you as a service provider, this would enable you to reach new potential customers. Like I already said, smaller or medium-sized businesses that might have not really been into the security solution for their house system in general, so you can offer it to them, expanding your personal range of services to them. And by our monthly billing module, you can actually provide a monthly based service for your customer, and so you can have a higher cash flow and so higher margins for your own business. These are the system requirements for our GData software. I'm not going too much into detail on this one because those next 3 slides that I'm going to show you are just the basic system requirements. You can look it up for your own within the presentation. I don't want to bore you with that because I think that's a basic thing that doesn't need to be covered that detailedly. The licensing itself is actually very easy. So if you have to, if you're asking yourself how many licenses you need for our GData B2B solutions, you just simply add the number of all the devices that need to be protected. So for example, if you have 150 desktop PCs, 20 servers, 30 Android devices, and 25 iOS devices that you want to protect with our software, that would be in total 225 licenses. We do not differ between a PC and a server or a mobile device and a PC or a server. It's one license per device that needs to be protected. Okay, this brings us to the end of our first part. Are there questions so far regarding the software itself? Okay, seems there are no open questions so far. Meaning I will move on to the next part. Okay, I see there are 2 questions coming in. Okay, there is a question, can you explain a little more on the maximum protection? Uh, that- okay, I'll have to ask, what do you mean by maximum protection? Okay, this question seems to be heading in the direction of the GData Bank Guard. The GData Bank Guard itself is a plugin that's hidden inside browsers. Currently supported are the browsers GData, no, not sorry, not GData, Firefox. Of course, mean Google Chrome and the Internet Explorer, and also Mozilla Firefox. In which the process itself, if you are creating certificates for the bank, handling over your provided data or created data, for example, a transfer job you've created for your bank, and this transfer job gets packed into certificates and usually transported via a secured connection to the server of your bank. There might be an inject that could change the given certificates you have created. This is a certificate package without even knowing it for you. So this would actually, you would see, okay, my transfer to my account has been done, but instead of the money going to your own banking account, the money would be sent to a third person without even knowing you. All right. Moving on, this is the administrative console for the GData software itself. As you can see, it's actually very, very detailed in this moment because I've expanded all those branches showing the clients on this overview. Of course, I can just uncollapse them so everything's back to a simple overview. So this would be the basic overview you would see if you would open the GData administrator. We have 2 tabs on the left side shown here at the moment. One tab is showing the management servers. I just click on that one. So you would see all your currently administrated management servers. within the overview. You can of course select a single server and let these details be shown to you. Of course, this goes to the clients as well, and this would be the dashboard for the clients, showing all currently connected clients to the administrator, the security status, if everything has been enabled so far, if the signatures are up to date, if the firewall is activated. You can see all the given client connections, if the client connections have been properly made to the management server. In this case, you can see in the last 24 hours, all 265 clients have connected to the management server itself. You can see the top 10 clients that had neutralized infections, and of course a general overview of the report status. You can expand those windows so you have a better oversight. And of course, let them be shown in a bigger window. As you can see on the left, I have certain groups on this side. These groups can be created on your own, but you can also group your clients automatically given the administrator or the organization tool in which you can give certain rules to give the clients to certain groups according to rules that you can set. So, for example, if you want, let's take this one. If you have this new client over here and has not been grouped automatically to your grouping system that you have currently on your administrator console, you could just say, okay, I want to put it into the group of the notebooks. It belongs to the group of sales. I'll just drag and drop it into the sales group. In this case, because I've previously made a group job for this group, I will be asked if I want to preserve the given group jobs for the select clients. In this case, I just say no. And there it is, put into a group of sales. That's how easy our grouping works. Of course, you can also say, nah, this is not the right group. I don't want it in there. I just wanted to put it somewhere else. Just drag and drop it into another group. And there it is. Okay, let's stay with this client. You can see if I go to the overview of this client, that it shows you in this case that there are security risks. The monitor has found a virus and the access was blocked to this, just security information. You can see if the engine A is up to date, if engine B is up to date, the last time the status has been checked for this version, the program version of the client, lost access, and so on and so on. You can see what kind of software is currently installed on this client. You can see, yes, this is the management server that's currently installed. But you can also see what kind of programs are currently installed on the background as well. Of course, you can group them by name, so you have a better overview. And the installation date, when this was installed. Next up would be the hardware that's currently installed. I have an internal memory of 4 gigabytes, around 55 gigabytes of free system storage, and I can see what kind of processor is currently running. There is a question if we can monitor all our clients' customer software remotely using the GData administrator. Yes, this is possible. Okay. You can do different settings on your client. Of course, you can just say, okay, this is a specific client that I want to have a note for. You can add this in here as well. You can select if the tray icon should always be displayed, or only in the first session and after that never again, or if it's actually shown never on your system. Which server should be assigned to this client. You can just say, okay, I don't want it to connect to the main server. I have a subnet server that's currently in use. I could select it in here. You can select the option to update it on your own. Have certain client functions activated on the client itself. Perform scan jobs. Enable the idle scan, and so on and so on. The monitor can be administrated for this client. In here you can find the behavior monitoring, the exploit protection that can be enabled, and of course the USB keyboard guard. In this case I've just enabled this function, so I have to hit apply to actually activate it in there. Next up would be the email protection. Pretty much self-explanatory, as I think. Incoming, outgoing mail will be scanned. If there are malicious files in there, you can select the scan options if you want to use both engines or only run on engine A. If you want to use the outbreak shield, if you want to receive warnings, and if you want to use the integrated plugin for Microsoft Outlook. Scanning of the internet traffic for malicious files is possible in the option Web. You can select the server ports that should be watched, monitored, and in here you can see the enabled bank guard. Next up would be the point of the Android settings, which are not activated since this client is actually Windows based. So the Android settings are of course not available for a Windows client. I can go back to that one later. tasks that have been allocated so far. In this case, those are quick scan jobs that are applied currently to this client. You can see that this scan job has been already completed so far, and there's already a new scan job pending. Also can activate the backup job if you have the additional module installed on your computer or in your license. And of course the patch applicability, which I'm going to come back later. I think for a business the best thing would be the policy manager. In here you can administer the application control, the device control, the web content control, and the internet usage time. For example, if I have a certain application that I don't want to be running within my network, I can actually add it to my administrator console. So if I know the file name, for example, steam.exe, and add a node, hit apply, you can see that this steam.exe has been added to the blacklist. So if I want to run this file on my computer now, I can be sure that this won't be working. This will be disallowed by the GData client itself. You can also say, okay, I want only these programs running on your system. So you can also enable the whitelist and allow certain programs to be activated within your network and nothing else. Device control, pretty much self-explanatory, that you can allow the usage of floppy disks. Okay, this might be a little bit ancient, but some people still out there have a floppy disk drive. Of course, if you have a CD DVD drive, you can say, okay, they can read it, but they cannot write it. If I have removable storage media like SD cards or USB sticks and so on, I can only allow the read access or just disallow it totally. Or the webcam, that the webcam cannot be accessed at all. Oh, if you have made changes to the administrator and you want to leave the page without applying them, you will be asked if you really want to apply those changes to be sure that you have actually finished the changing to the network. In this case, I'll just say no because I don't want to have that. Web content control, actually pretty self-explanatory as well. You can block the access to certain kind of website categories. In this case, we've said, okay, the user is allowed to access the website www.gdata.de, but on the same page we have said, nope, the user cannot access the website www.symantec.com. Okay, last point within the policy manager itself. would be the internet usage time, in which you can say, okay, the user can actually use the internet from, for example, 6 a.m. to up to 11 p.m. and after that the internet access would be blocked. But for example, if you want to say, okay, uh, they should not be allowed to access the internet during their work break, for example, between 12 and 1 p.m., you would just say, okay, block the time, and they are not allowed to access the internet during that time. However, this doesn't work by now, but in general I think you get the point. Discard those changes. Okay. The firewall, like I already said, we have the overview and the rule sets. Interesting might be the rule sets at first, because in here you can actually say, okay, which rules are currently activated by default. You can add certain rules to this default sets as well, allowing or disallowing the connection to the internet in general. And within the overview, you can administrator those settings you've made within the rule sets. So, for example, if you made an internal rule set, if the notebook is currently within your own company network, they can access or they cannot access certain websites, or you cannot use certain applications. On the other hand, it might be possible to run certain applications from without your network, from outside of your network, or run the autopilot mode, in which those connections will be set given a preset of data. The patch manager provides you with the patch option, which I've already introduced to you, in which you can see, for example, I have certain vendors that have patches available. Can these patches be applied to your system? For example, if I have a certain patch for Skype and I want to see if this patch might be applicable for my client, I can check it within here, in which you can say, okay, I want to see if this applicability is given. I want to schedule it immediately, and I only want to run it on my client down here. Of course, I have the option to automatically install the applicable patches as well. Can be done, but to be sure, you could also just say, no, I just want to have the scan results, and after I've got the scan results, I could, for example, say, okay, apply this patch to the given system afterwards. So, for example, if you have, if you're working throughout the day, this might negatively impact on your performance. Last two things that I wanted to show you that are the logs. In this case, for example, if a client reboot is required, you can see it in here. You can tell your employee, okay, listen up, I've changed something on your system regarding your security. Please reboot your computer. Yeah, okay. You can see in here, okay, the client was rebooted afterwards. Also, you can see the infrastructure logs. in this case, if the database has been updated. Or that the firewall was enabled, if there was a scan job started. If you have changed something to the client itself, it's shown in here. Of course, you can also group it so you can see what exactly has been changed in here. The statistics, well, in general, you can see all the information that I've talked about it before in a detailed overview. You can say, okay, I just want to have a pie chart, or I want to have plain text. This might be able to help you if you have to create a report. You can also see how certain things have been monitored or have been detected. In this case, all our detections that were on my client so far have been done by the monitor. In total, there were 7 virus results that have been logged. You can also see what kind of virus has been found on this client. In this case, it's our test file. That's good. And you can see, okay, this is only because this is my only client in here, because I've selected only this one. But if I would select a certain workstation or a certain workstation group, you would see, okay, workstation 93 to 77 all had 4 neutralized infections. Moving on to the management servers. Like I already said, this is the overview in which all the currently applicable servers are in here. You can manage the users, and also you can actually see infrastructure logs as well. So if there were updates performed, or if you had error messages, this would be displayed in here. General settings, if you want to perform certain automatic cleanups so your whole system doesn't clog up too much, so you can actually activate that the, for example, the infrastructure logs should be deleted. Everything older that's, for example, 2 days. Whoops, there you go. Everything older than 2 days will be automatically deleted. Synchronization within the clients can be administered in here. So you can say, I want a connection from the management server to my clients every 5 minutes, or for example, every 10 minutes. I can apply this as well. Same goes for the subnet server or the Active Directory. So if you have a change in Active Directory, you can say, okay, this should be automatically synchronized. You can enable a load limit if you have a relatively weak network signal. So you can say, okay, I just want to have a simultaneous amount of reading clients at the same time, or I want to have only a simultaneous update download. You can change it in here. Backup of the servers. Email recipient groups, so if you have reports that should be sent out to the tech staff or the management staff, you can put it in here. And of course, last but not least, this would be the Android authentication for clients, and in this case the cloud messaging. Please note this is not a live system, so this error message doesn't mean anything by now. Updates, you can see if your management servers are up to date with the latest virus signatures. In this case, the last execution of the update was today, 11:25. I just look at my watch. Okay, that was almost 26 minutes ago. Everything's fine. So we're good to go on this part. The program updates have been checked last time. Okay, this is the latest version, 14.00641. Of course, if there are program updates available, you can say, okay, the distribution of this program updates shall be made on a stage distribution, possible in here. Your access data and the settings. And if there are issues, maybe with a false positive, you have the option to do a signature rollback on your system. By default, there are 5 rollbacks activated, but you can also say, no, this 5 is not enough, I want 10. In this case, you will have 10 updates available after the next 5 updates. The report manager. For example, if you want to create a specific malware statistic, you can do this in here, and this will create a certain report in which you can see, okay, I had 82% of my engines were out of date, for example, or there were certain repelled viruses that have been detected, the computers with the most repelled infections, and so on. This report can be adapted to your needs, but this is covered in detail within the reference guide. License management, you can see currently there are 265 licenses activated, but I actually only have 50, so this is an issue. So usually I should receive an error message if I log into my management server that I'm using more licenses that are actually currently permitted. You will receive this error message and you will be asked to contact our sales department. The Action Center in this case is only relevant if you have Androids activated or if you're using network monitoring, but this would go too far right now. So I'll just skip this one in this case. So, are there questions regarding our software? Okay, so thank you for your attendance. It was fun. If you have additional questions regarding the software, and you can contact us at int-presales@gdatasoftware.com. Of course, you will receive a recording to this webinar, and feel free to download the handouts from the panel. Thank you for your attendance. I wish you all a wonderful weekend.